The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel. We are here not only to help you see the new you, but be the new you. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo live streaming here from Marcelo Green in Parañaque City. We are now on 134 episode season 8. Good afternoon. It's the wrong Ayan. Am I okay? Um, Direct, direct, direct. Am I okay? You answer me. Direct, direct. Am I on live stream now? I would like to know direct because it took me a while to come back. Okay, I want to hear you. Direct. Oh, here I am. So we have already guests here. Uh, I'm very sorry. You know, it happens when it is a live stream that my audio and my video was not actually functioning well. So you have to leave the live stream, StreamYard, twice so that they will identify. I don't know what is happening with our gadgets. Sometimes they can identify and not identify it. I am sorry, but I am also appreciative of your patience and indulgence. So we have already here my cousin Bebeth uh, Reyes. She is actually uh, watching and viewing it from Taklak. Hello, cuz. And I just would like to see some of our friends who should be also uh, be coming back to watch us. Our topic today is really essential and important because the topic is the role of HR in the strategic planning. That was my topic yesterday. I was invited as a speaker in Caraga. That is the PMAP chapter in Caraga. And I presented a 2-hour presentation on the role of HR in strategic planning. Now is the time to do a strategic plan. Is it needed? Yes. Most especially that we are experiencing this pandemic. Of course, I have been a little bit keen on that there is a difference between business continuity and strategic plan. Now let's talk about the strategic plan that is needed because you need to review. If you have been doing it for the past years pre-COVID, now is the time that you need it most. You need to review if your strategies are still relevant. That's the first one. Then, of course, you have to scan. Okay, so let's have a quick, the basic strategic planning, or we call it strategic planning 101. But before we go to that, I'm waiting for my guest to come. It's only my cousin who is here. Maybe yes, ayan, ayan, ayan. You know, PPO, but I was having problems earlier with my not my connectivity, but with my audio and with my video. I don't know what happened. How are you? PPO,
Mabeauty, as usual.
PPO, but can I hear
Teka,
you?
ah? Dinig mo na ba
You're
ako?
also muted. There is something wrong with our
Ano,
connection. Can I hear your voice? Let's check your voice.
magandang
Obet,
tanghali.
past
Dinig mo
president
na.
of it, the PIMA president in 2015. After him, I was the president in 2016 of the People Management Association of the Philippines. Can we hear the voice of PP Obet direct?
I'm talking, naka-unmute na ako dito. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
Can you hear?
He's speaking, but I cannot hear him. Uh,
Oh, you cannot
okay.
hear me.
PPO, but I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear. So let me continue while direct here he is actually fixing the the audio. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go first on the alignment of uh, the HR functions to strategic planning. It has to be aligned. I cannot hear him direct. I cannot even hear you. What is happening? What is happening? I cannot hear Direct. Um, I cannot actually hear him. Can you say something, Obet? If you can
I
hear me,
can hear you,
it would be
but
a
you can't hear
communication
me.
problem. If I
That's
will
a
not
part of
be
the technical
able to
problem.
hear what PP Obet is saying, Direct, can you fix that to us so that I can hear him? Direct,
A technical problem.
Direct, Direct. Okay, this is
Ibig
actually
sabihin
live
live.
stream and we are having these problems. You can hear me, Obet. You can hear me. A thumbs up, but I cannot
Yes, yes,
hear
yes.
you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know why I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. I don't know why I cannot hear. There is something wrong with my. I don't want to go out anymore, but you can see me. I don't know how we can converse that I cannot hear you. Direct, can you do something about this? Yeah, naririnig po namin. Um, um, Obet, can you continue the conversation while I try to fix my
Good
uh,
afternoon. Magandang
continue the
tanghali.
conversation while I'll fix my audio so that I can hear you.
Yes, can you
Okay.
hear me? I can
The
hear
topic is
you.
actually on
All
strategic
right.
planning. Now we are going to align the
Direct,
function
can you hear me?
of the function of. Let me see. I'll try to check if will be okay. Can you speak, PP Obet?
Hi, good afternoon. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
I cannot hear you. I still can't hear you.
Testing. 1, 2,
I
3.
can still.
Mic test. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. I have to change this into this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see what I am doing now. I am trying to fix my audio. So, this is actually live streaming 101. So, from the Boya, I will try to use my. Direct, can we have first a break? Um, I would just like to check. Can you say something, PPO? But if I can hear you,
Hello,
no,
PP Jesse.
I can't still hear you.
PP Jesse.
I'm now using. Why is it that I cannot hear you?
Oh, Derek can hear me.
Wrong. I cannot hear you. I'm now using my. There is something wrong. I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I think okay, okay. I I am not sure anymore what I'm going to do because I cannot hear anything. Let me see. Let me see. Can PP Orbit will just checking. Can you say something so that if I can hear you? I'm back to
Mic
the.
test.
I
Mic
know
test one, two,
cannot
three.
hear you yet.
Mic
There is
test
something wrong
one, two, three.
with the connectivity on the audio. I'll try. I'll try
Mic
to
test
check.
one, two, three.
I'll try to check on the audio on the speaker. Hello.
Testing new speakers on StreamYard. Sounds like they're working.
I think this is okay. Can you say something, PP Orbit?
Good afternoon, PP
Now
Jesse.
I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
All
There.
right.
Yeah,
Great,
yeah.
great.
Great, great. So siguro we can continue because we had a long, long break before that. I'm very sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This happens and this happens. You know, this is actually a test on patience, and this is
All
actually
right.
a test. This is actually now. I'm so glad that you are always with me, of it in our desire to advance HR. So let's go now to what we're supposed to discuss because it will be a disservice to our uh, viewers. Okay, and then I know for a fact they were with us earlier, but I cannot see them anymore in the room. Maybe they left because they cannot hear me, or they know that we both cannot hear each other. Anyway, PPO, but the topic is um, the role of HR in strategic planning, which is very essential. Which is very essential because this is the time that we must be doing strat plan. And then I discussed yesterday. There are actually three items that we need to discuss. First is the alignment of the HR function to the strategic plan. The other one is the strategic planning. And then the third one is actually what will be the contribution of HR in the strategic planning process. So, di ba't PPO na ang lahat ng functions ng HR should be aligned to the strat plan?
Oo naman. Importante talaga that there is alignment. But more than the functions, more than the functions of the key areas of human resource operation, management operation, basic, I think the HR department, especially the people in charge of the strategic planning, must take the full responsibility for connecting people. When I say
Yeah,
connecting people, kinakailangan alamin yung samut-sari ng mga
yes,
ideas, pakiramdam, lalo during this pandemic. At of course, there are a lot of tools na pwedeng gamitin ng HR department on how to effectively, efficiently, and more importantly, anong significant connection dun sa mga damdamin ngayon coupled with the current competencies plus the added new competencies during this pandemic and after this pandemic period. Yun ang sa tingin ko for any HR role to become strategic No?
Yeah.
So ano yung
Kasi,
sabihin natin strategic? Baka gusto mo i-define muna yan. Bakit nga ba ginagamit ng strategic na yan o strategy? Ano yung
yes,
sabihin yan?
yes,
Oh.
yes. Yes. Kailangan yun. Ang sabihin natin strategic is it has to be planned. It has to be directed to what is actually your vision and mission. That should be a foundation of what you do. So there is a basis on what you do. And then it has to be taking into consideration what are the resources, internal and external. Then you plan it. So it is not that's just doing things that is reactive. When
Correct.
when you say strategic, it is proactive. That means that it is something. There is a basis of your action. There is a basis of your action. What was actually the purpose, your purpose, or what is actually your mission and vision, and your values, and then consider the environment. Scan the environmental and external. Then you plan what you're going to do because you are going to consider that your decision may have other, it will affect other, yung manganganak, other systems or other departments. So, it is not just HR for HR. Para bang gusto mo lang magkaroon ng party, gusto mo lang magkaroon ng misa, gusto mo lang magkaroon ng vaccination. You are not even actually looking into why. Why?
In
So,
other words, Jesse, yung strategic plan is not the operational plan. In other
not
words,
operational
kailangan
plan.
i-ankla mo yan sa vision mission. Lalo ngayon, we have to challenge the current vision and mission statement of the organization. Because in strategic planning, we really identify, and again, more than deciding, we have to discern ano yung top priorities, no, wherein HR department,
Right.
especially the HR practitioner, will be able to position properly the different aspects of managing people, including leadership. And when I say managing and leading people, first and foremost, simulan mo sa taas. Hindi pa pwedeng mid o pababa. Kailangan nandun sa taas. Yan.
Yes.
Yan ang challenge ngayon.
So yung unang ano natin, area is to align. And ang gusto kong sabihin, very, very basic at simple. Yung para bang when you are doing acquisition, so nagre-recruitment. Acquisition po is recruitment. It is from sourcing to recruitment. Dapat when you are looking for people, dapat naka-align yan doon. Anong strategy ninyo? Are just going to really get the best, or you're just going to get warm bodies, or are you just going to get this for a contingent lang ba ito, or are you going to get them for the longest time? Are you
O
going to
kaya
get
nga, kaya nga ang tingin ko dyan parating at the back of the mind, whenever we do strategic planning, what will make us achieve winnability? Yung winnability, no?
Yes.
To outsmart, basta dapat manalo tayo, including of course yung internal, no?
Win-win. So even with learning and development, hindi lang po ang HR na parang gusto mo lang, parang may nakita ka na mahina magsulat, tapos business writing ka na, or makita mo lang na sabi niya, ay maganda siguro mag-team building tayo na mag-team building. O, kailangan nga yun, pero that has to be aligned also with the strategies. What has been discussed in the strategy? And the strategy has to be regularly, dapat annual yan. And so with your succession plan, and so with your culture, that has always be aligned. So ang unang i-alignment ng PPO bit is the alignment of the vision and the mission to the vision and mission of the HR department or to all the leadership. May mga vision and mission na ang ganda-ganda nakasulat, pero actually it is not being implemented or successfully felt kasi walang connect yung operations nga.
Correct. Kaya nabanggit mo yung word na connect, no? Kaya si HR, alam mo, in all of these things, sino ba gagawa niyan? Tao.
Tao.
Diba? Tao. In all of these things, sino ba ang magpapagulong niyan? Tao pa rin. Kaya nga, the HR has to determine the art and science of connecting the strategic plan with the real business of the organization. Yan, papasok dyan yung business acumen, papasok dyan yung creativity, innovation, di ba? And so forth and so on. Kasi magkakaroon ka ng tweaking dyan eh. So, again, remember, last time napakit ko dito di ba sabi ko dapat maging people-centric always and not always business-centric because it is people who really creates the business, sustains the business, and generate the profit. Pag inuna mo itong tatlo over people, tapos na laban. Wala na strategic planning pinag-uusapan dyan.
We need to remind everybody, and it's also basic, all of this continuity strategic plan, there is a frame. It's actually Baldrige. The Baldrige model of yung ano ba yun, yung ano nga yung Baldrige model, which is yung people, market, operations, and finance. The balance scorecard. Yung balance scorecard po, to know if you are really going to go, yung measure mo if you are really getting success, di ba? Ang natutunan natin, PP Obet, yung kakasabi mo lang, of course, the underlying is profit, the revenue. Hindi ka naman tatayo. Pero kung tumayo ka, hindi naman iniisip mo talaga una, kikita ka. Ang unang titingnan mo is ano ang maitutulong mo? What is the mission? Kaya nagka-come up ng mission po. And after the mission is the vision. Wala pong mission ang sinasabi dyan that we are going to earn money or having to increase our sales. Yung parang increase in sales at yung financial is actually on the third, is on the goal. So titingnan mo muna natin ano ang mission natin. Bakit ka nagtayo? Bakit nagtayo ng TNC? Ano ang mission niyan? Hindi ang mission ng TNC parang may yumaman. Hindi po. And what is the vision of TNC? So what is the mission of PMAP? What is the vision of PMAP? Or what is the mission of San Miguel? What is the vision of San Miguel? Pwede dun sa goal, pwede nang masasabi natin na yon nag-increase ng sales. Now, pagbalik po natin doon, ano yung role ng HR doon? Yung titingnan niya yung mission dapat, yung sinabi ni PP Obet, kung ang mission nito ay sa San Miguel, ay makatulong sa
ekonomiya,
sa mga bansa, titingnan niya yun na yung Baldrige model na ng balance scorecard, people, yung kinuha mo mong tao na magagawa nung mission na yon ay talagang gumagawa. Tapos yung audience, yung market mo, tapos yung iyong pagtrabaho at yung finance. May oras, PP Obet, na babaliktad yan. Nauuna yung finance, nauli yung tao. Yun yung sinasabi mo kanina. Kaya
exactly. Kaya nga, ito mo ito budget season na ngayon. Pangkaraniwan September.
Kami itong topic na ito ngayon at sa sunod na Saturday.
Di ba ngayon budget season na, September, October. O ang tanong, ano ba dapat mauna? Budget season o strategic planning?
Strategic planning po. Kasi especially nagka-pandemic, nasabi ko po ito kanina, that you have to review your strategies. Kasi dapat, lahat po nagsasabi, universal, what you have done pre-COVID should not be done anymore. You have to change it. Nandiyan na si Pipi Jerry. Hindi daw siya pwede kasi niya.
Maganda sinabi niya.
A very important distinction between strategy and operations planning. Strategy should focus on doing the right thing, while operation focus on doing things right. This is the difference between effectiveness and efficiency.
Yes. Ayan. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, agree ako dyan kay Pipi Jerry. Kaya nga sabi ko, yung strategic plan is not the operational plan. That's why every time there is a strategic planning, the HR CEO, the HR executive, together with this team, kinakailangan minamanmanan. Ano yung dulo ng strat plan towards the end? Kasi during strategic planning, there are a lot of discussions, di ba, etc. happening during the strat planning workshop. But the HR, I think, must be able to nitpick ano yung sinasabi na hindi binibigkas during the planning. Idudukto ko sa sinabi ni Pipi Jerry. And I like to emphasize this No, the role of the HR is to build, sustainably strategic alliances with
Yes.
people in the organization.
Yes.
Yan.
Actually, Pipiobet, yan po yung HR strategic role.
Yes.
Ang unang strategic role niya is to be able to be yun nga, alliances with everybody. Dapat yung alam niya yung mga functions nung marketing, nung warehouse, nung finance, so that yung operations na dapat may alam siya doon so that he can align it with the people needs. Ano yung mga kailangan doon sa trabaho? Para bang nagsabi yung marketing na we need to increase our coverage. Magiging na tayong we need to have another branch somewhere or we need to expand. Dapat malalaman nung HR ano yung mga implication niyan doon sa requirement sa tao. Ano ba ang
Ayan, tama.
ilalagay niya? So, kahit na sa finance, ang sabi ng finance, magtipid. Kasi ano ang implication niyan? Magtatanggal ba siya ng tao? Siya ba ay magre-resign kasi magtipid? So, iisipin niya yun. So, ang importante po is naka-align yung HR doon sa strategic plan. And the HR must be aware. Ang mahirap nito, PPOBET, ang una muna, is the HR invited in the table?
Well, ano mo, pagka hindi na-imbitahan yung HR, kailangan imbitahin mo yung sarili mo doon sa table. With knock 3 times on the big boss. Alam mo, Jesse, ito yan. Ito yan. Bibigyan kita ng concrete example ko. Where I am now, sabi nga sa'yo, napatunayan ko pa sa sarili ko, hindi pa ako kinakalawang eh. Where I am now, dito sa current new business of the San Miguel Corporation, I really involve myself in the operations. I really question, not for the sake of questioning, but for the sake of really stepping in the operations because I see potential implications. What is potential implication? It could be positive or negative. Sa tao, ayoko kasi mahuli, later, babalikan ako, bet, ba't hindi mo nabasa to? Diba? Basta ako, I speak out my mind and feelings, kay sundin o hindi, wala akong problema. Basta, ayokong balikan ako, bet, hindi mo ba nakita to? Diba sinabi ko na sa inyo yan? Kaya nga, importante, yung strategic plan must not confined within the strategic planning workshop and all throughout. Because sometimes, the strategy will be changed overnight. Parang basketball game yan eh. Hindi pwedeng yung game plan mo for first quarter, yun ang gagawin mo all throughout kasi things change because people change. Kaya importante communication dyan.
May sabihin ako, PPO. Dapat nga ganun. Very sensitive ka kasi yung HR, you are not evaluated with your initiative. Hindi ka in-evaluate na nagpamisa ka, hindi in-evaluate na nagpa-party ka, hindi in-evaluate yun. Ang in-evaluate sa'yo yung direction. Hindi yan naka-spell out sa strategic plan eh. Yung HR yung gumagawa ng mga initiatives for the people. Yung engagement, yung taking care na yun eh. Hindi naman yan nakalagay sa strategic plan na dapat bumili ka ng bakuna o kung paano maibigay ang bakuna o hindi niya nakalagay. So, ang nag-i-initiate yan ngayon, yung HR. Pero titingnan mo doon, ano ang basis niyan doon? Hindi ka reactive eh, proactive. Ano ang basis mo diyan doon? Kung ang iyong mission at ang sa iyong mission at sa values, kaya papasok yung values, alam ko. Kung sa values mo ay nakalagay din that there is actually, say, taking care of people, empathy, or then, masasabi mo sa initiative. Kasi again, ladies and gentlemen, hindi po tayo ang HR. We are not evaluated on our initiative. Kung ano ang ginawa, ang ini-evaluate tayo doon sa direction. Na if that direction is actually aligned to the strat plan.
So, ayan nabanggit mo, Jesse, yung direction. Yung align. Ngayon, I will qualify that. Ano sabi mo, anong HR role in the strategic planning? Napaka-simple. Number one, to bring the right approaches, the right intervention for the
Yes.
people to ensure that the human, yung tao, they have the competitiveness
Yes.
in making things well, not because of profit, no, but first and foremost for people. Yun eh.
Okay.
Otherwise, pag profit ka ganun, top of mind, mali. Yan, maganda sinasabi ni
Oh,
Baby Jerry.
before that, salamat King Gonzales ha. Talaga menti ko yan si King. Oo. Ang dami alam mo mag PM ka mamaya King. Kasi medyo ako medyo ako hindi naman disappointed, just a little bit concerned kasi PP Obet hindi na-appreciate ng HR na kailangan sila involved. Sabi nga magna. So can we go back direct kay Jerry, yung sinabi the latest one. I will read it. Strategy formulation can be at two levels. Business level, what business should we pursue? And organizationally, how we should organize work and lead people in a way that we achieve the business goals. Part of the organization strategy is how leaders should behave so that organization goals are achieved. Spot on. Ikaw mag-react diyan sa sinabi ni Pipi Jerry. Pipi Jerry, next Saturday dapat sabay-sabay tayong tatlo. Sige. Obet, pasok mo diyan sa anong sinabi ni Pipi Jerry.
Agree naman ako kay ating Tito Jerry, no? Ito, kita mo emphasize natin dito business level and organizational level. Ito sinasabi ko last time there are two sides, di ba? First and foremost, people side. Second, business side. Yung business side, nandun yung profit. But who will generate the profit? It's the people. Sometimes, ang nangyayari, inuuna yung business side and taking for granted yung people. May problema tayo dyan.
Kaya yung pandemic. Kasi may oras because hindi mo nga malaman kung kumikita o hindi kumikita. Naiisip mo dyan, it's for your protection which is actually revenue. Hindi mo naisip that the one who is actually doing is going to actually do the realization of the revenues, tao.
For me, who is the organization? The organization is not the structure. It's not the position. It's people. People makes up the organization. Eh, sinasabi ni Pipi Jerry, organizational strategy. Or first and foremost, how leaders should behave. Yun Again, ito sabihin ko, leader influences the culture. Culture shapes people. Yun ang problema dyan. Kaya pagka mali ang...
Okay,
pag mali ang bulpa mo...
Obet, yan papasok. What is now the role of HR? Dapat mayroon siya development program. Pero kahit na mayroon siyang leadership development program, i-align niya pa rin doon sa strategy, sa mission and vision. No.
Yes. Ngayon, siyempre, kinakailangan may sustainability, di ba? Kaya doon sa people side, doon papasok yung business side. Di ba? Yun So, ang point lang naman natin dito, uunahin mo muna ang tao. Kasi yun But kinakailangan yung business acumen, hindi lang nandito sa taas. Kinakailangan maibaba mo yan sa mga tao. Kaya they have to have that entrepreneurial mindset.
But I will try to enumerate some of what will be the strategic moves of HR. One is brutal ito. You must be respectable. At least my input. There is something between your ears so that people will really respect you and you are credible. Now, they will hear from you. Of course, ang kakausap mo rito, marketing, finance, operations. So, dapat yung HR. At narinig natin yan sa isang GMM. Ano ang dala-dala ng HR? That one of finance is actually on how to keep and invest the money. That one of sales and marketing, how to have revenue. That one of operations, to be efficient in operation. Ano ang dala-dala ng HR? So ang tanong niyan, sinagot yan dito sa PMAP, it should be innovation. Anong innovation? Change. Hawak natin yung pag-train. Hawak natin yung culture. So dapat clear yan. So one. The other one is dapat may alliance ka. So kung ang HR medyo mataray, this brutal, at hindi mo ka-aliado magkakaroon ka ng problema kasi ikaw yung ano, ikaw yung link, ikaw yung mag kung ano man napag-usapan doon sa mga plano, ikaw actually ang magfa-follow. Kaya nga yan, nandito si Miss Duki na dapat si Jemay, yung HRBP. Actually ang the essence of HRBP is to make sure that naka-align yung mga business units sa pinag-usapan, hindi yung HRBP utusan doon sa department na ikaw ang nakaano. Then the third one is you must know the business. Yan ang important. I know the CHRO natin, yung ating mga kakilala, si Mr. Nick Lim, si Mr. Orbeta.
Ano mo matitindi yan?
Alam. What I am afraid of, hindi po ako nang lalait, are yung mga nandito sa mga SMEs na mga HR managers. Di ba yung mga medium and small organization. Alam kaya ng mga HR nito yung buong business kasi may oras yung Martha and Mary, yung oras yung HR, you're just after yung paglinis, umiinit ang ulo mo, may nag-away na nagsapakan, yung hindi mo nakikita, you are just trying to put off the fires, pero hindi mo nakikita yung talagang role mo na ikaw ay kasama doon sa people management. And then I think that ang isang strategic role is na ma-review. Yan. Kasi sino po ang magre-review? Sasabihin mo, bakit Sir Jess? Ito may trabaho ko pa. Di ba PPO hawak natin ang performance management? Yung lahat ng metrics. At sabi ni Pipi Jerry nga rito, dapat nga daw conversation doon sa how to improve is not actually on the incentive, is not actually on the evaluation. Doon sa conversation, doon mo malalaman kung ano ang kailangan. So I think that is the point. If HR will be able to gather from the performance, from the conversation, ayan ang dadalhin niya doon sa table. Ito ang kailangan. So that is change. That is change. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, training, learning and development is change. Diba? Recruitment is change. Nagkuha ka ng tao. So yan po ang dadali natin doon sa table. PP Obet, mayroong sinabi rito si Jerry. Can we read it? Can you read it for us, PP Obet? Ikaw po magbasa.
During times of great uncertainty, we should shift from looking at strategic planning as an event to daily practice of continuously strategizing. Every employee should be trained to do strategic thinking, meaning skilled at sensing what is happening in the environment and quickly responding in an appropriate manner. Yon, agree ako dyan. Thank you, Tito Jerry, sa statement mo. Ito yung binanggit ko kanina nagkakalayo yung opinion namin. Yung sinasabi kong entrepreneurial mindset, dapat akuin ng empleyado yung trabaho niya bilang negosyo para paano niya ililink yan doon sa strategic plan. Kaya sabi ng PP Jerry, daily practice
Actually, PP Jerry, tumpak. Kilala mo ito wag na natin sabihin yung organization, pero si Oji asked me to do training to his organization. Nasa third batch na ako. At alam mo, may pinasok akong isang module. It's actually, nag-umpisa ako sa creative thinking to systems thinking and a strategic thinking. Ang sinasabi ko is, you don't even have to go into your problem solving and decision making kung nagamit mo na yung mga thinking, pero I started with the mindset. May nagtatanong yung HR doon, sabi niya, sir, is this really the skill? Actually, hindi yan original sa akin, PP Obet. Nakita ko yan sa McKinsey na dapat yan ang tuturuin. Yun ang tumpak na sinasabi ni PP Jerry, na yung strategic planning, hindi lang doon sa taas. Everybody must have that. It has to be cascaded. At pagdating dito sa baba, yun na yung strategic thinking. Yung para bang what is my role? Kaya nga po, to be blunt about it for HR, hindi na po yung task. It's about your KRA. What is my key responsibility areas? And that key responsibility areas, that's culture contribution and your KPIs, must be aligned to the mission and vision. Kaya kung ano,
Oo.
kaya sinasabi ni Pipi Jerry, yung sinasabi kong role mo, kasi sino po ang magtatahi niyan? Who will be the keeper of that? That from the strategic thinker yung gumagawa. Diba?
O
Yung
kaya nga,
parang,
Pipi Jesse, importante yung binanggit ni Tito Jerry kanina eh. No, sa akin, I focus on two words. Skilled sensing. Skilled
yes,
sensing. O ngayon,
yes,
tinuturo ba sa mga kumpanya yan? Ano, parang sa eskwelahan. Tinuruan tayo ng reading and writing, but not communication. Di ba?
yes,
And
yes.
listening. So sa trabaho, yung sensing na yan, hindi yan tinuturo sa lahat. O usually ginagamit yan sa LR. Di ba? So ngayon, tama si Pipi Jerry. Agree ako dyan. So dapat merong sensing workshop o may isang topic module. How do you develop that skill?
Nandito pa lang tayo dito sa strategic formulation, which is the mission and the vision. Sa explanation ko, Pipi Obet, na dito sa mission and vision, ang kung paano yung gawin ng HR na maisabuhay yan at magawa to really act on those, ang aking ini-explain is you now go into the values. The values is actually yan ang magpo-push at make it happen. Yun yung magpo-push at magmo-motivate ng tao na gawin yung vision and mission. Now, ang tanong yun, sino ang gagawa niyan? Sino ang magsasabi niyan sa mga leaders? O di ba yung HR?
HR pa rin. Kaya nga,
Kaya
yung values, just imagine the machine. Yung makina ng sasakyan, the values are the piston. Yung piston, di ba? So the piston, if are properly in place and functioning well, it will drive the motion of the vehicle. The vehicle is the organization.
Para maging gawin natin clear ito, para bang yung mission mo is actually to help, say, the community on something. Tapos yung vision mo at the end of 2024, dapat ganito na yung sitwasyon. So, how will you do it? Napili mo yung values mo, dalawa lang. There should be teamworthiness, di ba yung mga usual, actually hindi na yan iniisip ngayon, but the traditional one, excellence. Paano mo magamit yun? Kaya nga nandyan yung value ng excellence para magawa mo yung mission mo at yung vision mo.
Yan ha. More than the values, may nagraran tayo niyan, di ba? Ng mga values workshop. Pero alam mo, may kulang dyan eh. How do you measure if the value is being practiced properly from top to bottom and bottom to top?
Right.
Ngayon, may word dyan. Kaya pag nag-workshop ako ng values, nilalagyan ko ng norming. Because the value is a definition. But how do you measure? Paano ko malalaman value of respect? May norming. Norming, by definition, is a specific behavior that must be manifested by each and every employee. For example, value of respect. Anong norm doon? Norm doon is punctuality. Kasi may respeto ako sa tao. So kung may respeto ako sa tao, dapat punctual ako. Especially sa meeting, sa daily reporting, pagsabit ng report. Pero pag hindi alam ng tao, ano yung norm, okay, good to have the respect. Pero how do I measure?
Nagagawin ko pa yan. From the norm, yung HR ang maglalagay ng standards. Ano ang standard niyan? So yun po ang sinasabing, what is the role of HR? Dapat naintindihan niya, na-discern niya, na-understand, na-appreciate niya yung vision and mission, at na-understand niya yung values kasi itatay niya, i-align niya, at gagawa siya ng mga initiatives. Mayroon ulit na sinabi rito si Pipi Jerry. Can you read it for me, Pipi Obet?
HR, from PP Jerry, I fondly call him Tito Jerry. HR must volunteer to facilitate strategy planning sessions. Facilitating means asking provocative questions, which I like. Do we know what our strengths as a company? Are we
Right.
using these strengths to gain distinctive competitive advantage? Why are our non-customers not buying from us? Diba? Ang ganda ng tanong. Eh, yan.
Paakyat tayo, paakyat. Mag-iisip ang HR. Bakit naman ito sinabi ni Jerry na why are we non-customers? Well, hindi ko naman yan trabaho eh. Trabaho yan ng customer service, trabaho yan ng sales, trabaho yan ng marketing. Hindi po. You break the silos. Kasama
Yes, correct. And
Yan.
and when we talk, tama yan, no? Other than breaking the silos, and when we talk of customers, there are two major types of customers. Huwag natin kalilimutan. Yung internal customers and external customers. So how can we expect sales people, marketing people to be happily serving external customers kung internally they are not happily being serviced and taken care of? Oh.
Yes. Ang tawag niyan, kakaturo ko lang yung PPOPit customer centricity. Ang customer centricity, hindi yung customer focus. Ang customer centricity, yung sinasabi mo, how can you give love if you don't have love? Customer centricity. Ang customer centricity kasi, yan ng HR, na dapat yung mga nandiyan sa frontline are properly or happily or contented, galing yan po sa iyo. So that when they face their customers, they project happiness. They project
Correct.
customer centricity, nanggagaling po yan doon sa nagbibigay. So, gaya nito, pinanggalitan mo yung mga salespeople kasi na late. Ano kaya yung mga mukha niyan pagharap sa customer? At hindi yung boss ang panggalit. Anang galit yung HR. Or hindi mo
Ang mahirap, first thing in the morning, pinagalitan mo yung mga tao mo, no? O tapos, after 2 hours, alis na kayo rito. Gawin yung trabaho nyo. Mantakin yung mga mukha nila. Grabe, sumbakol.
Ito yung example ito. HR makinig. Yung waiter na nag-wait ng 2:00, hindi pa kumakain.
Totoo yan.
Customer centricity yan. Sino dapat yan? Sabihin natin, problema nila, ba't hindi sila kumain? Dapat yung HR, hindi nga yung supervisor. Sabihin yung supervisor talaga yan, hindi. Yung HR, itatapikin mo yung supervisor. Ito bang mga tao mo, kumain na. Ayun. Yun lang naman.
Alam mo, Jesse, nung nasa planta ako, umiikot ako alanganing oras. Kaya pagka tina-check ko talaga yung mga tao namin. Kaya tatawagin ko supervisor, kumain na ba itong mga tao natin? Baka hindi naman tayo masyadong may hinahabol. Baka iba, pwede mo nang medyo pakainin ng konti.
I-align natin sa topic natin, PPO. Bakit yan trabaho ng leader? Sabi niya, hindi ko na yung trabaho. Trabaho niya ng marketing. Trabaho mo yan kasi nga, nandun sa values is actually taking care of people or excellence na nakalagay. Tapos nakalagay doon sa mission ninyo is to provide siguro excellent service to make the customers happy. Ano ang role mo doon sa mission and vision? O di ba mag-remind ka lang doon sa sa boss, yan ba'y nakakain na? Sasabihin mo lang, will I do that regularly? Yes. That is your role. Kaya nga role.
Alam mo naman yan, PP Jesse, nung meron pa tayong live event sa PMAP, ugali nating dalawa yan, pero hindi naman tayo nag-usap. We always reminded our professional staff. At talagang, lalo pagka-conference, di ba? Alam mo yan, pag-conference, grabe. Puyat-puyatan tayo dyan.
Pipiobet, may tanong sa atin si Jerry. Nakibasa. Basa. I have a question. I have a question.
Sabi na question niya, to attain sustainable high performance, should the strategy focus on profit maximization or pursuing purpose of the organization? Yung loaded question.
Very easy ang sagot yan, Jerry. Doon siyempre sa pursuing the purpose of the organization.
Oo naman, parehas tayo. Ah. Why we do what we're doing, why we are in this business, why we are in this profession. Yun eh. That's purpose. Otherwise, if we don't know why, the who, the what, the where, the when, and the how, then there is no reason for being. Ah? There's no
Okay.
reason for existence.
Ang
Kung
sagot
ano
ko
yung
niyan,
pakinggan, kung yun.
ito ang strategic thinking ko, doon muna sa tao. Yan yung sinasabi ko, Jerry. Ha? Nung ikaw naghahanap trabaho, ang hinahanap mo trabaho, hindi ka naman naghahanap ng increase. Sabi mo, ma'am, ako naghahanap po ako ng salary increase. Hindi. Nung ikaw nag-a-apply, naghahanap ka ng trabaho. Now, kung ikaw naman entrepreneur, lahat na entrepreneur, kung ikaw nag-uumpisa ng isang trabaho, hindi mo na iinisip kung magkano ang iyong makikitain. Ang isipin mo na, ano kaya ang wala dito? Di man nag-scan ka at ibibigay mo. Para ba dito sa isa community namin, ano ang wala dito? Siguro dito dapat nagkaroon ako ng wala ritong tinapay na available, di mag-bakery. So, ang una mong isipin, hindi yung income mo sa pagtayo ng bakery, but the purpose is that there is that need. So, nag-uumpisa ka sa need, the need is the purpose. O malalim po yun na sinabi ni Jerry, dapat naisip yun po ng HR. So, nandito pa lang tayo your strategic role. Alam mo, dapat sa Saturday, kasi we are all just Saturday, ang busy-busy ko po, mag-usap-usap tayo ni na Jerry. Jerry promised na nandito tayong tatlo. We discuss na doon sa process. Kasi di ba yung process ng strategic planning of it is you start with strategic formulation, yung mission, vision, and values. Balikan natin yan. And then ang sunod nan is the scanning. Yung nagde-develop ka ng strategies. Dapat alam dapat yan ng HR. At alam ng lahat.
Part of the scanning alam naman natin tong tool na to. SWOT, di ba?
Yes,
Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. O partly nabanggit na yan ni Tito Jerry. Alam mo, kahit nasabi mo basic yung SWOT, yan pa rin yan. Importante pa rin ngayon, bago ang top management mag-SWOT, dapat on a per section, section, department level, meron na silang pre-work ng mga SWOT. Tapos, isi-synthesize yan para titingnan mo, para pagdating sa strategic planning proper, di ba, naka-summation na yan, may summary na yan.
Pipi Obet, mention natin, nandyan yung ating taga San Miguel, si Lay Amisolalim, at nandyan yung taga-inquirer, si Del Mendoza. Siya na po yung nag-hold ng aking position. I'm so proud of them. Well, anyway, tama ka po, Pipi Jerry, where we discussed that on Saturday, yung SWOT. Kasi doon sa strength and weaknesses, dapat ang i-offer sa table, sa strategic planning ng HR, yung honest evaluation nung tao na nandyan. Kaya strength Ano ba ang tao mo? Kaya ba? Hindi dapat ito yung nag-uungguyan kayo. Kasi we are now in a pandemic, dapat malaman yung talagang totoong strength. What are the vulnerabilities? What are the gaps? Malay mo, ang medyo matalino lang dyan, kayo-kayo. Tapos usually, PP Obet, ganun yan Yung leadership lang kasi nung nag-aral at yung sa baba talaga hindi trained. So ang hirap-hirap ngayon na pandemic, ikaw talaga yung gagawa. Kaya paano nga yan? So what will be the strategy? So what is the strength and the weaknesses? Ilan ba dyan? Sigurado ka ba dyan na mag-i-stay? Yan ang dapat alam ng HR ngayon, PP Obet.
Tama yan PP Jesse. Ito, may katanungan ako sa mga audience natin. Ang tanong, ito, ang tanong, dapat ba kayong kumuha ng external facilitator na para mag-facilitate at tumulong pag may strategic planning workshop? Dapat ba? Anong mas maganda? Yung purely internal, purely external, o yung pangatlo, combination? Ayan, sagot kayo dyan sa chat box.
Ang sagot, ako sasagot niyan. Dapat yan mayroong external na nag-i-intervene para may tumitingin na hindi emotionally attached.
Kasi Jesse, sometimes nobody is a prophet in his hometown.
Kasi yung sinabi po na SWOT, mayroon pa nga yan slept mayroon pang SOAR.
Oo.
Hintayin natin si Pipi Jerry sa sunod. Parang siya mag-discuss niyan sa atin. May
Oh,
slept.
magaling yan dyan.
Yung
Maraming masasabi yan.
ang SLEP is yung social, legal, di ba, economic, tapos mayroong political, tapos may technology, so SLEP, so titingnan mo. Pero yung role ulit ang titingnan natin ng HR. Bakit nandun ka sa strategic plan? Why are you in the table? Because yung sa weaknesses and strength, dapat sasabihin mo, ang kailangan natin dito siguro sa parte ng marketing, medyo dagdagan natin kasi medyo kulang. Siyempre, mabibigla yung marketing. Di ba? But you know, HR, you must be courageous. Yan yung mga tinuturo mo, PP Obet. They should be courageous enough to really make yung parang sabing, mali nga yung sinabing walang personalan. Kaya siyempre, mali yung kasi you are just professional. In the SWOT, ang pinakabaganda siguro, Pipi Jerry, sila mismo ang self-evaluate. Assess.
Oo. Alam mo, Jesse, my friend, di ba yung strat plan, output, nangyayari yan mga October, November. Di ba?
Ngayon.
Di ba? O ngayon, sa panahon ngayon, hindi na iniisip yung 5 years or 10 years from now. Kasi with technology, and with the fast pace of life, especially input pa dyan yung pandemic factor, gaano kaganda ang strat plan na output ng October, November this year, it's not a guarantee that it will really be as true to honest to goodness strategy. Kaya, pagka lumipad na ngayon for 2022, at the back of the CEO, nandiyan yung kanya mga next in command, dapat china-chart ngayon kasi as you fly to the horizon, maraming factors na unforeseeable, hindi mo ma-anticipate na pwedeng mag-block o mag-compensate o mag-complement. Kaya dapat ganun kabilis. Kaya dapat monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, tinitingnan, may calibration. Yun nga, may calibration. Dapat agility, papasok yan.
Agility, and that is ang tinatawag dyan, business continuity, which is a review. Yung business continuity, the regular review, if the business is actually faring, yun yung sabing job fair. If you're faring well in your job, so dang titinan mo yung continuity, will you still continue what you are doing? Yan po ang aking pananaw sa business continuity. Kasi malay mo yung ginagawa mo is not anymore applicable to the continuance of the babalik ka dun sa vision, sa mission ninyo. Yung para bang nagko-continue ka lang because you like to protect yourself. Maraming ganun yan, nagko-continue lang, yung para bang nagpapagawa lang ng mga programs, Obet, para lang masabi na may ginagawa yung HR. Yung para bang ganito, Obet, ito kwento ito. Mayroon ditong HR, siguro nandito makikinig sa lahat, nagpapa-report pa ng HR sa opisina. To think that 30% lang daw yung tao. Tapos, tumatawag sa akin yung estudyante ko, Sir, makipagkwentuhan ako sa iyo. Sir, bakit? Wala na akong ginagawa. Sabi ko, umuwi ka na. Sabi ko, bakit hindi ka umuwi? Kasi sabi nga nitong friend mo na manager, dapat daw mag-report ako rito. For what? Para daw walang masabi sila na walang taong HR sa opisina. Tama ba yun?
Grabe.
So ang iniisip niya, ang iniisip niya is just the continuance of HR for HR. So business continue, hindi niya naisip yung mission o vision. Yung mission ng kanilang kumpanya is actually to take care of people and make sure that you are actually doing excellently. Sayang kasi actually wala namang taong pumapasok ngayon. Bakit nagpapapasok ka ng HR na pwede naman kung sa bahay yun, nakagawa yun ng trabaho?
Totoo yun. O bakit siya walang ginagawa? So, ibig sabihin, yung manager niya, hindi nag-iisip.
Yes, hindi yung tinatawag na strategic role. yan ang sinasabi ni Jerry, strategic thinking.
Diba? Yan yung sensing.
Teka muna.
Taka pa kami sagot dyan. Baka may mga comments sa chat box.
Okay. Kasi tayo overtime na. Nag-remind na sa atin.
Wala, maganda itong usapan.
Anyway, PP Obet, thank you very much. And PP
Welcome.
Jerry and everybody here. We will be back on Saturday and we continue with this kasi nandun pa lang tayo sa second part. Actually, 5 and 6 stages po ang strategic planning. Tingnan natin isa-isa at tingnan natin kung ano ang contribution ng HR at ng after that, kung ano ang influence sa leaders. HR muna tayo kasi this is HR hotline. So, allow me, PP Obet, but you can, what do you call this, interrupt me sa aking pag-conclude. So, napag-usapan
Teka, PP Jesse, before you conclude, ikaw naman magbasa sa t-shirt ko.
Wow! Oo nga.
Basahin mo!
Okay,
Basahin
you
mo.
cannot change, ano ba ito? Hindi ko mabasa yung in-between. You refuse to confront. Yes. And that is actually very nice. Yes. Ang ganda ng statement. It's a t-shirt with a statement. Yes, you have to be courageous. You must be able to confront so that you can actually, sinabi ko yan kanina. So I'll start. Sinabi ko kanina na ang ating role is actually innovation, to bring in change. That is our value proposition in the company. And kung wala kang idea of what is this change, the training and development, kaya nga development is change. Your recruitment, that is why you're adding people. It's change. Succession, everything that we do in the function of HR is actually change. So that is what we are going to bring. But we have to start on our alignment. We have to make sure that what we do now, even the reporting, even the checking, even that vaccination with this very operation, has to be aligned to our mission and vision. Kaya sinabi nga yan ni Jerry, yung purpose. What is the purpose and what is the mission? And at this time that you are at home, try to look into what are your values. Now, what do we need as HR? If you think that it is not anymore relevant, be the influencer to have it changed. And besides, it needs to be changed. It needs to be changed. Ito po ang medyo brutal na sasabihin ko ngayon, pero gusto ko marinig ang tinig ni Obet with this statement. Ang traditional HR po, yung very transactional, wala po yung value ngayon. Kasi you are just, yung sinasabi ni Pipi Jerry, you are just efficient. Traditional HR. That is timekeeping, payrolling. Diba? Dapat mapasok ang strategic HR ka. Dapat na nun yung talent development so that mayroon kang katuturan, mayroon kang relevance. What can you say about this, PP Obet, before we say goodbye?
Well, duktungan ko yan, no? Tama yan.
That will be your parting message. Sige po.
Yes, duktungan ko yung word mong transactional. So all the more that it is imperative for any HR practitioner to be a strategic partner of any business, to be a transformational HR practitioner. But before you can become a transformational, you need to manage that transition. Hindi ka kaagad mag-jump from transactional to transformation without undergoing the transition. Yeah. Yun lang.
Yun. So that is actually his parting message. So my parting message is for all of us HR, not even leaders, all of us in HR, try to think. We have to be strategic and try to see that, sabi nga ni PPO, kumatok, offer ourselves that we are involved in the strategic planning of our organizations. It is essential that we are still actually surviving, thriving, languishing in this pandemic, that we need to have that mindset, that courage, yung nasa t-shirt ni PP Obet, that for us to really be involved in the strategic planning initiative of the company. Sabi nga ni Pipi Jerry, dapat ikaw ang mag-facilitate. Sabi ni Pipi Obet, dapat naman mayroon sa labas, dapat katulong ka. So ladies and gentlemen, I think this will be the topic for the next 3 Saturdays on the role of HR in strategic planning in preparation for the strategic ano tawag nun period time frame that's actually October and November. Okay, mayroon dito ng sinabi na si Bebet ang magko-conclude. Can you spot on Bebet as a conclusion of this episode? All managers and supervisors should be informed about the strategic plans, not only those who prepared the plans. Uy, ang gandang conclusion. Thank you, Cousin Bebe. Totoo yun kasi sometimes ginagawang confidential yung plans. Wonderful. Thank you, Gemma. Thank you, si Ryan Navarro from Davao. Nandiyan. Si June Sally, Pipi Obet, nandiyan of Jensen.
Hello, June Ryan. Bebet. Thank you.
Oo, nandito Nandito si Gemma nandiyan, si Del nandiyan.
Hi, Gemma.
King Gonzalez nandiyan. See you again on Saturday. Nandiyan kami ni Pipi Obet. This is our brotherhood. This is our family, sabi ni Pipi Jerry. This is our way of trying to contribute in the advancement of our practice and our profession. Salamat, Pipi Obet. Salamat sa inyo.
Salamat din. God graces, guidance, and protection be with you always and your loved ones. Thank you, guys.
Pipi Jerry, nandito ka sa next time. Thank you very much. Thank you for this wonderful episode. Diyos mabalos